Hey, okay, so let me start off by saying I know I look a little bit ridiculous right now, but I'll explain that here in a little bit. So, I went on a run outside today, and for those of you who know me, this is kind of a big deal because it is still only 30 degrees right now at best here in Indiana, and I hate, or at least I thought I hated, running outside in the cold. But it's March, and in 2 months from today, I will be running a mini marathon in Indianapolis, and so I need to start logging some miles on the pavement, not on the treadmill. So it's 30 degrees outside, it's sunny, and there's no wind, so I thought, you know what, I am just going to do this and suck it up and just run outside. There's a 3-mile loop around the lake where we live, and I thought, you know what, I can do 3 miles outside. I can do it. And it was awesome. Of course, I layered up. I've got my Columbia hat on, and no, I'm not taking it off because I'm sure my hair looks ridiculous. And I've got a few layers on, actually probably a little too many. I could have done with maybe just 2, but I've got like 3.5 layers going on here. And I was really warm on the run. But what I really wanted to share with you guys today is on the run I was thinking, as I usually do on all my runs, it's my time to think, and I was thinking back on my cross-country days in high school, and I was thinking about how our coach always talked about, there was a few courses that we ran, not very many, but there was a few that had like this hill that everybody knew about. It was like the hill on the course that, when you got to it, it was like you needed to have a strategy because the hills were usually towards the end of the race, and so that's when you're most fatigued, and we always talked about what do you do when you get to this hill. And I know in particular on one of the courses, it was like the most daunting hill because not only was it a huge steep hill, but it was like sandy and muddy, and it was in the woods, and like if you went in the middle, it was really hard to get up, so you had to try and go to the sides where it wasn't quite as muddy and hard to get up. And there was always a strategy. And the main I could go into details, but the main gist of the strategy was that no matter how tired you felt you were, or, how much you were struggling in that race, the goal was that as soon as you saw that hill, you would just dig deep within and take off running straight to the top. And I thought, how symbolic is that in pretty much everything we do in our lives? We can just be chugging along in life, trying to hit our goals, doing this and that, and then inevitably, no matter what you're doing, you kind of run up to this hill. And people can do different things. They can stop and turn around and give up. They can try and go up the hill at a slow, steady pace and walk, but usually, if you just take it at a slow walk, usually that's not enough to get you to the top. And what separates the people who get to the top from those who don't are the people who just put their heads down and just go and give it everything they've got and sprint to the top. And I love that philosophy. I thought of that during my run, and I thought, how awesome. And ironically, on my route, I actually came to a hill kind of like that. And I did exactly that. I just sprinted towards the top. And when I got to the top, I've run this route like several times, but when I got to the top this time, there was this awesome view of the lake. And I don't know how I missed that before and not ever noticed it on that top of the hill, but I got to the top, and it was just this beautiful, serene moment at the top of the hill where I could see, it was like this view from the top of the lake, and I could see all throughout the lake, and it was beautiful. And that's kind of what happens when you reach the top of the hill in your goals and whatever you're trying to get in life. When you finally get to the top, it's beautiful, and you realize all that work, everything that you just did to get to the top was totally worth it. It's gorgeous. So when you're facing your next challenge, just push ahead, full speed ahead, and get to the top, and enjoy the view when you're there.